Hey everyone, so last week I shared a couple meals that used sprouted buckwheat, and a few of you reached out asking how I did that. And so I wanted to share my process with you. And you can sprout almost any grain or seed, and it's really helpful to do so, not only because you're making your food more alive that way, which is always better, but also it makes it more digestible and the nutrients within the seed or grain more bioavailable. So you're getting more from what you're eating because your body's able to access the nutrients in a greater way. So what do you need for sprouting? The way that I do it, I use a quart-sized wide mouth canning jar. And then you can get these sprouting screens. They usually come in a 3-pack with different size tops for different things that you sprout. And you can get them on Amazon. I'll share a link with you, but you can also get them at your local hardware store or any store usually where they sell canning goods, and it's usually in that section. So they're called sprouting screens. They usually come in a 3-pack with 3 different size holes. And it just screws right onto the top of that mason jar. Some people use like a cheesecloth or something. You can do that over the top with like a rubber band, but it just takes a little bit more effort with the draining and rinsing that you have to do. You just have to take that off, usually use like a strainer or something. So these screens make it really easy and they're not very expensive to buy. So I will share the process with you, how I sprout. And then, it's a good time to be talking about that because it's springtime and seeds are beginning to sprout and grow, and plants are sprouting and growing, and things within us are sprouting and growing. So a nice time to wrap that into your kitchen routine. So I will share more with you, share ideas around what you can sprout, how you can eat those sprouted things. And so stay tuned, more to come. All right, so I'm starting with just this normal quart size wide mouth canning jar. And you can see that it's a little less than halfway full with buckwheat. And that's a whole buckwheat grain. And you can do a little less than that. I wouldn't do more than that because you want to have enough room for the sprout to grow as it begins to sprout. So I just do that. And then I'm going to put the water in first. So it's cold water, and then you fill it up. And put the lid on. And then rinse it. And then basically pour it out. Okay, so I have my jar a little less than halfway filled with the buckwheat. And what I'm gonna do is simply after I've rinsed it, I'm just going to fill it with water. And so it's covering the grain. And then put my sprouting seed lid on top. And essentially, I'm just going to let it soak there for 4 to 6 hours. And that's all you do. You just let it sit and soak. It can soak overnight. And then basically, you start the rinse and drain process. All right, so this is about 6 hours later. It doesn't matter. They just need to soak in water for 4 to 6 hours, 8 hours. You could even set it to soak at night, and then when you wake up in the morning, drain it. And we're just gonna drain it. It takes a little longer to drain as the buckwheat starts to fill up with water. It starts to sprout. It's not starting to sprout yet, but I'm going to fill it up. And then each time you fill it up, you'll do a quick rinse. I rinse it a couple times. Okay, so here are the sprouts this morning. You can see that they drained a little bit in there. And I don't see you can see kind of the beginnings of sprouting happening. So basically I'm going to do another rinse, probably 2 times through like I did last night, and then just set it to sit again and drain. And I want to show you that when you drain it, you want to make sure that there's enough airflow through the top. And you can also, I wanted to say, I know some people use like a cheesecloth or something, but then you might want to get a strainer out. It wouldn't be as strong, obviously, to drain it like this. So it'd just take you a little bit more time in between to get the strainer out and you know, drain them as you rinse them. So now you can see that I'm leaving a little bit of airflow there at the top, and I'm going to prop them up again. Check out, plenty of airflow. You can also see how much they've grown, right? Like, see how they are starting to grow and probably sprout a little bit. So there's my little sprouting station. Still plenty of airflow happening through there, and we'll do it again tonight. All right, I started this sprouted buckwheat yesterday morning, and you can see the little sprouts beginning to come. So now I'm going to rinse this 2 more times, and I'll let it sit, and maybe by tomorrow morning they'll be ready to eat. You can see some of them are getting kind of bigger in there. We'll check it out again tomorrow morning after I rinse it twice and put it back on its little sprouting station. All right, and here are the sprouts ready to go. Check it out, they are fully sprouted. We started Monday afternoon, let them soak for 4 to 6 hours. I rinsed and drained them Monday night, rinsed and drained again on Tuesday morning, rinsed and drained Tuesday night, and now Wednesday, they are fully sprouted. And it's Wednesday midday right now. So two full days, and you can see that the jar is entirely full, so remember that we started with them less than half full, and that's because they obviously grow quite a bit. But you can look on my Instagram page, there's a couple different ways that I use them, and I'll continue to share them, plus other things and ways to sprout. So happy spring coming soon, happy sprouting.